Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Aman's Unfiltered. I'm your host, Amanpreet Kalra. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that I'm sure resonates with many of you, especially those who come from a large family. We're talking about crowded homes and empty conversations. It's a paradox that's becoming more common. Living under the same roof, sharing the same space, yet feeling miles apart from those who we call family. Now, think about it. We live in a world where the concept of family still holds strong. We eat together, sleep under the same roof, maybe even watch the occasional movie as a family. But when was the last time you had a meaningful conversation with everyone in your household? When was the last time you felt truly connected with those people you see every day? In many homes today, conversations run dry. We sit at the dinner table, forks in our hands, but our mind is literally elsewhere. Today, maybe the kids are glued to their phones, texting their friends, or scrolling through social media. The parents, however, might be checking their work emails or reading the news. The mommy's checking on her kitty party group chats here and there. And even in the rare moments when everybody is together, the focus isn't on each other, it's on the screens in front of them. It's kind of sad when I hear myself talk about it that way. Hmm. And what about shared experiences? Now, there was a time when families would gather around and watch the same TV shows, sharing some laughs, some opinions, and sometimes even heated debates. But now, everyone has their own device, headphones on the ears, their own streaming account, their own interests. Mommies might be into a drama series, dad could be watching a documentary, while the kids are immersed in YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, I don't know, whatever the platform is today, Snapchat. But we are all consuming content separately. And what are the results of all of this? Even when we're physically together, our minds are in complete different worlds, universe, different areas. Now, let's get a bit deeper into this. Let's talk about the generational gap that exists within the same household. Now, in many large families, you might have grandparents, parents, and children who all live together. That kind of sounds ideal, doesn't it? A close knit family where wisdom is passed down and everyone looks out for each other. But the reality can be quite different. Take the grandparents, for instance. They come from a time when face to face conversations were the norm. They value time spent together without distractions. But now they find themselves in a home where the children and grandchildren are always preoccupied with something else. It's not that they don't want to talk, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they do. But they don't understand the world of memes, viral videos, or the need to check notifications constantly. Ding, ding, ding. And when they try to start a conversation, it often feels like they're speaking a complete different language or they have been thrown into a complete different universe. Multi universes. That's how they might picture it. Then there's the issue of values and priorities. The older generation might prioritize family gatherings, religious rituals, and just sitting together for a chat. Back then, you would have like Galida Mola, the part, and this and that. The kitty parties back then used to be like, okay, sare ral ke aajo, let's do some kirtan, simran. But today, well, for me at least, my way of meeting everyone is like, yo, let's go to a rooftop bar. I need some wine. and things like that. And that's what sitting together for a chat meant. But then now when that happens, it's not really with your family members because they don't do that. We do that, so we do that with our friends. Now, as I was saying, the whole like, sorry guys, I just stepped out of the topic for a bit. Now, let me get back to what I was really talking about. So, the older generation prioritized family gatherings, religious rituals, and stuff like that. But for the younger generation, these things can seem tedious, outdated, and it's just not, it's so irrelevant for them. Like I said, they might prefer to hang out with their friends or maybe play some video games or just some me time after a long day of school and work. This difference in priorities creates kind of a silent tension. I feel a growing gap that makes it harder and harder for meaningful conversations to happen. Another good example is the sheer busyness of modern life. Now, in many households, both parents would be working, often late into the evening, meetings, meeting clients. It turns into dinner meetings with drinks after. But by the time they get home, they are so exhausted. And not to forget the kids, too. They have their own schedules, their own routines, school, extracurricular activities, maybe even part time jobs for the ones who are in college, obviously. So, when everyone finally does sit down together, they're too tired to engage in any real conversation. And for them, it's like, oh, it's easier to just sit in silence, eat dinner quickly, and then retreat to their own corners of the house. And let's not forget, yeah, the role of technology. Yes, it's brought us closer in many ways, but it's also driven us quite apart. We're so busy connecting with people online that we've forgotten how to connect with those right in front of us. It's ironic, isn't it? We have the means to communicate with anyone, anywhere, at any time. Yet we struggle to hold a simple conversation with the people we live with. So, what is the solution? How do we break free from this cycle of crowded homes and yet empty conversations? How do we bridge the generational gaps and reconnect with our families on a deeper level? Like, I wouldn't know how that feels because I don't live in a big family. It's just me, my husband, and the kids, and my dog. But me and my husband, we have this thing where we come back home from work. I'm home with the kids once everybody's together. We talk, we communicate. Sometimes I want to break free from the conversations. That's how much conversation I have in my house. These are the questions I do want to explore because, like I said, I don't really understand, but I have seen it through many families. So correct me if I'm wrong, come prove me wrong, prove me correct, whatever it is. These are the questions I want to explore. And I'm inviting you, yes, you guys, to join this conversation. Have you experienced this in your own home? Do you have ideas or solutions that may work for you or have worked? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, your stories, your struggles. So come to the show and shed some light on this topic. I want to start a conversation that actually matters. And I think this is a conversation that really do matter. Family connections, big homes, empty conversations. I want to know what we can do to change our mindset. Like I said, contact me. You guys already know my IG by now. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in to Aman's Unfiltered. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and most importantly, talk to your loved ones. Until next time, please stay connected. I'm your host, Amanpreet Kalra.